and welcome to another broadcast on the Debsterism Channel here on YouTube and Twitch. We are competing with the Super Bowl. I did not think about all of that when I was scheduling the Debruary programming, but there are a lot of women who are football fans, and I'm sure a lot of our guys that are usually here will be, glued to the television as well. But that's all right. We're going to carry on because this is a very important conversation to have. As I started looking into this, you haven't. Wow, she's as dedicated as I am, all the way from Australia. Girl, Patricia, girl, I have a group of haters. I think it's three of them because it's always three thumbs down. They go along and thumbs down so before the show even starts, they thumb it down. I, you know what I mean? So I'm like, whatever. I don't even worry about it anymore. It's just, you have haters and they love to be that way. So let them be. You got to have haters. If you don't have any haters, it means you haven't arrived. If you don't have any haters, it means that there's something you're not doing right because too many people agree with you. That means that you're a bad advice columnist. If everybody agrees with you, that means you're sucky. You kiss up to people. The thumb down been there for about 6 hours. So somebody, I don't know, somebody came along and did that like around noon today. But I just wanted to, thank you guys for coming. I'm sure we're going to have a lot lighter crowd than we usually do for two reasons. One, of course, is the Super Bowl. The other is because the topic particularly deals with, the younger set and a lot of women, maybe if they don't have children or they, this is going to be a kind of a particular broadcast addressing a particular demographic. So I didn't really expect to have as many people. But I'm hoping that we pull some over from the Twitch side because they tend to be teenagers over there. So I actually made an intro this time, you guys. Hi, there's about a little friend from Twitch, always here. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, just think about when we were little kids, right? We think about teenagers. That's like that middle ground between childhood and adulthood. It's the stage where you are old enough to have a lot of independence and do things for yourself, maybe start having jobs, earning money, doing things with your friends away from your family. So most kids look forward to being a teenager and that increase in freedom that you get with it. Of course, responsibility too, but the increase in freedom. And then, all the dreams of, I'm going to have like a boyfriend and my first kiss, and I'm going to go to the prom, and I'm going to go to the high school dances and games, and I'm going to have a boyfriend, and I'm going to, graduate from high school and go to college. All of these are things, milestones that we accomplish in our teens. And most of the time, it's something really good and it's stuff that we look forward to and getting married and having babies and all of this. We all imagine our life in these little steps. But there's like hundreds of thousands of teenage girls right here in the United States that never happens for them. I was looking at some statistics just in the state of California. Last year, more than 45,000 teenage girls disappeared. Where the fuck are all these kids? I had no idea it was that many. That's just in this one state. So you multiply that towards about by 50. We're looking at 1 million kids just gone underground, disappeared. We don't know where they are or what's happening to them. So this, it was frightening. And I'm just so glad my daughter's not a child anymore. And people who are having kids these days, you better be vigilant like a motherfucker about your kids. Don't trust nobody. And I don't know. It was just really some scary stuff. And that the statistics on teen girls who are still, for the most part, minor children, because there's 18 and 19-year-olds. All around the world, girls 13 to 19 years old are assaulted, they're beaten, they're abducted, and they're killed. So what I want to talk about today, I was going to try to do all four of these. I don't know if we have time to fit it in, but I want to kind of address some of the behaviors that constitute teen dating violence and abuse because I want parents and the daughters to be able to recognize what they're seeing. And this might occur, be good for you if you're an auntie, you're a big sister, you're a cousin of some teenage girl. You might, be able to pick up on these signs. The second thing is the kinds of violence that teenage girls are facing at the hands of men who claim to love them. I have a whole collection of stories. Hey, Belle. From the news that are just like horrific. It's like these girls have a target on them. It's just unbelievable. The third thing is what we as parents can do to educate our teens, both the males and the females, on the behaviors of what constitutes dating, abuse, and violence, and show them alternative behaviors. And then the final part is to show them what a healthy relationship looks like. Kind of give them an outline that these are the things that are components of a healthy relationship that's enriching for both you and your partner. If you don't have these things, you're going to have a problem. Okay, so let's go into first. I need to keep my outline here so I can stay on track. You guys know how I will drift off and go into la la land and start talking about something completely different. What kind of things constitute uh, violence in a relationship? And people think that it has to be, he puts his hands on you or something like that. It's not always that, because it could be like the threat of violence. It could be that he hits something next to you, or he throws things in your general direction, or he starts yelling to the point where it just makes you cower in fear, or he threatens something that like your pet or something, or to leave you somewhere, something like that. All of those things fall under the umbrella of dating violence. So let's see. Let's read some of these things. If you have a guy who gets upset when you talk to other people, especially if that other person is a male, he just loses his damn mind. And one girl was telling me how she has male cousins, and one of her cousins transferred to the school. Her boyfriend saw her talking to her cousin and just went crazy and wanted to fight the dude. Luckily, her cousin whipped his ass, but you know what I mean? It was like, what are you doing? She can't talk to nobody. You feel that threatened? And these are young boys, 16, 17, 15 years old. I have some stories that I printed out here because I want you guys to understand how serious this is. If he bosses you around, a lot of girls don't understand that they have a boyfriend that says, you're wearing too much makeup, take that off. You can't wear that. I don't want other guys looking at you. No, you can't go there. You need to go home. This kind of stuff. Okay, he's bossing you around, trying to tell you what to do, where to go, what to wear, all this kind of stuff. It's like, who the hell is he? He don't get to tell you that you have a daddy and that he ain't your daddy. He gets into fights with people. He's always losing his temper, blowing up about something. He always mad. He's very volatile. He pressures you. He tries to coerce or pressure you or guilt trip you into doing things that you don't want to do. Usually something sexual, sometimes something criminal, sometimes drugs, these kind of things. He may use drugs and alcohol himself to the point where he's like shit-faced and doing crazy shit and saying, well, I was so drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just so drunk. He swears at you, or he uses very belittling, mean language at you. You ain't shit, and you're just a slut, you're a whore, you're this and that. You're so stupid. Luckily I'm with you because nobody else would want you. This kind of stuff. Okay, your daughter is suffering hearing things like this. He blames you for his problems. Somehow it's your daughter's fault that he's not living up to his potential, that he got a bad grade. I had a boyfriend like that in college. He would try to blame me for his F. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. That was because you didn't study and you stayed up, drinking and stuff with your friends. That's why you got an F. Don't look at me, though. I'm not accepting that bullshit. And we broke up. I was like not trying to hear that shit. But, a lot of young girls don't have that kind of self-esteem, and they will feel guilty, like it is their fault, like they should have done something to make it better or help him, or whatever. They internalize it and make themselves feel responsible for it. And if they hurt you, then somehow it's your fault. Well, you shouldn't have made me mad. You made me jealous. That's why I hit you. That kind of thing. He tries to insult you or embarrass you in front of other people. Humiliation, public humiliation is a big trick that they use. I'm going to tell you stories about that. He's physically hurt you, pinching, twisting your arm, pulling your hair, choking you up against the lockers, shoving you up against the locker with the metal bars poke into your spine and everything. Kicking you, pushing you, all kinds of stuff they do to these little girls. It's not physically, punching, but it's still a physical and violently physical act towards them. The girls may feel scared. She's like afraid to say something or do something because she's afraid of how he's going to react since he's been so volatile and jealous and controlling and all of these kind of things. And then the final one on the list is he always wants to know who you are with or where you going or what you going to be doing. He might be the kind that want to blow up your phone and have you checking in every 5 minutes. Well, where are you now? Well, who are you with? Well, why did you go there? Well, what's over there? Well, who's over there? It better not be any dudes over there, this kind of thing. So the girl's walking on eggshells and she's just terrified and doesn't know what to do about the situation. All right, so let me see, what's two on number two? So all of those are red flags of behaviors of these young dudes. And most of these dudes are, 16 and 17 years old. Oh, he hurt animals. Yeah, see, those are the kind that they say grow up to be serial killers. I hope you got her away from him. Oh my God. Yeah. A lot of the serial killers started off like that, being hurting animals, starting fires and hurting animals, and then they advanced to hurting people. All right, so now let's talk about some of the types of violence that these little girls are facing, and you will not believe some of the stuff that is happening to these girls. All right. Oh, where is it? Oh, here they are. All right. This guy killed his 16-year-old ex-girlfriend after she broke up with him. 16, he was 20 and she was 16. She broke up with him and he repeatedly texted her seeking to meet. Okay, now this is something that really, you young girls, hear me now, and parents as well. Make sure your daughters understand, after you break up with a dude, don't you ever be alone with him anywhere. Not in his car to talk, not in a dark corner of the school to talk, not at your house, his house, at some desolate park, nowhere. You do not meet him alone to do anything. And don't you take your girlfriends either, unless it's like 20 of them, because it's like, you need some muscle power or somebody that he can be afraid of, like a cop. So, he want to talk, say, well, meet me at the police station and we can talk there, something like that. But, don't be alone with him trying to feel sorry for him. He just wants to talk. He needs closure and all this stuff. They start playing to the girl's sympathy, and the next thing you know, she's off somewhere and you don't know where your daughter is. Okay, so this kid, they started dating in November of 2017, and then less than a year later, he stabbed her to death. Yeah, that's unbelievable. And come to find out, he was an illegal alien on top of that. Okay, this young girl, she was 19, and they had a tumultuous relationship. He shot her to death. He kicked in her front door, found her in the living room. She raised a hand and said no, and he told all the police all he remembers is a bang. And he shot and killed her right in her own house. They had just ended a year-long relationship. He became angry about having to go to court because he was had hurt her before. So he drove to her house, shot her several times, and then drove to the police station and turned himself in. But is that going to get them people's daughter back? In another case, this girl was 16. She was shot dead at her school after reporting to the police many, many times that the man suspected of her killing her was threatening her. He was 31 years old. She was 16. He had been harassing and stalking her for 2 years. They had a restraining order against this dude. He spread fake stories about her on Facebook using a fake account. He accused her of shoplifting, warned others to keep an eye out for her. The post included all kinds of personal information, including her school and where she lived, though her name was spelled wrong by one letter. He had told her that he was the 16-year-old girl's ex-boyfriend, but that's kind of under debate because people were saying that no, he wasn't. He wanted to be, but she wasn't. In another, a 16-year-old girl was wounded by an armed student at her high school. Then she died. She died. I mean, it was like a week later she died. She was taken off of life support. She was one of two students shot by the 17-year-old kid. The other victim, a 14-year-old male, was shot in the leg. Um, they had had a prior relationship which had recently ended. It was not a random act of violence. He was angry because she broke up with him. Yeah, 31 and stalking a 16-year-old. I mean, her parents, they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they got a restraining order and all this stuff. But unfortunately, restraining orders, even though I mean, that's all that you can get short of you getting a gun and getting a bodyguard to follow your daughter around. Um, the parents, that's a hard thing to do because most people don't have the money to hire a security guard for their children, and so I was just thinking, you guys think about that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and he wasn't even dating her. He wanted to date her. He identified himself as her ex-boyfriend, but the parents, everybody say, no, that was not the case. He was trying to be her boyfriend, but he was too old, and he kept stalking and harassing this little girl for 2 years. 2 years. Yeah, though the system has failed all of these girls. There's another case here. This guy, this is from the Albuquerque Journal. This one was really listen to this shit right here. Okay. Um, the school district is getting sued, basically. Two students have filed complaints against them. Now, I'm going to tell you about the first case. They say they don't tolerate any harassment of any kind, but look at all the failures of this little girl. Okay. She suffered more than a year of abuse behind this dude. According to the lawsuit, the now high school junior suing the school district over a boy who taunted her for more than a year to the point that she wanted to die. In the summer, just before she started her freshman year, this 14-year-old girl started dating an older boy from Salem High School. They dated like 3 or 4 weeks, which is what usually happens at that age, right? And then they broke up. Then the school year ended. So then in the fall, she went to a different high school. And the schools share facilities and the students can register for classes on both campuses. So they're probably very close to each other. So she went to one and he went to the other. When she returned to school, the ex-boyfriend began to stalk and intimidate her by calling her names like slut and whore in the hallways, flipping her off and waiting for her outside of the classroom. She's 14 years old. At the football game, the boy hurled the same insults to the girl as he pointed at her and shouted vulgar names while she played in the marching band. In December that year, the girl went to her counselor and filed a complaint after learning that the boy had told one of her friends that he hoped she, quote, gets raped again, end quote. Despite their relationship, during the relationship, the girl had confided in him that she had been sexually assaulted when she was a toddler, information that he would later taunt her with. After the girl went to the counselor about that comment, the counselor called her mother and told her that she would handle it. They also called the mother to apologize, and the principal said that he would handle it. The boy was verbally reprimanded, so not suspended, no community service, nothing, because that's a criminal act what he did. Okay, so 2 months later, they were having a school dance. He taunted her again about being molested in front of a large group of students. He looked at the girl and yelled, "I hope she gets raped again." The following Monday at school, she reported the harassment to the counselor again. Now, this is the third time, right? The principal and the counselor both called the mom again and said they would take care of the situation and that the boy had been warned to stop. They took no Title IX steps, which they are required under law to do. He showed up at the band activities and started in with her again. And he kept telling everybody that she didn't feel safe at school. And the next day he came and he shoved her into a metal fence, messed up her hand. She's in band. Okay, so now she's got problems with band because that's a class. I mean, you get graded for that. My daughter was in marching band, and it's like one of her curriculum. So she stopped attending school out of fear for her safety. She was treated for anxiety and depression, and she returned to school on a lighter schedule later. She started taking online classes and wanted to continue in the band, but she was told that she was not permitted to if she wasn't in school full time. So see, she's being punished. Notice this. She's losing things here because of his behavior and their failure to reprimand, correct, and suspend this kid. They just leave him there, leave her there to be victimized by him over and over, completely unprotected. Wow. And then finally they did an investigation, and then the school resource officer says that the girl had lied and that she had filed a false report. This bullshit goes on, and it pissed me the fuck off. But this is like a repetitive pattern when the daughters, when the little girls are run into a problem at school, and then we all know about the recent cases where the boys go crazy because some girl rejected them, and they come to school and want to shoot up everybody, kill everybody. So you guys that have sons, it is mandatory that you talk to your boys. Okay, if you got male cousins, male nephews, whatever, next door neighbors, whatever, you need to get in their heads because something wrong with these dudes. Some of these little boys have this their minds are all kinds of fucked up. And I'm trying to figure out what in the world happened from when I was growing up, how young little boys were, to how these little boys are to now. There's something wrong with them. They're crazy. And this thing where they think that they're entitled to women. And then they grow up and become older guys who with that same mentality and want to get a wife or something. And then when she wants to leave them for acting stupid and mistreating her, then they want to go and kill the wife and kill all the kids, kill the wife's mama. And remember Jennifer Hudson's sister's boyfriend? Just want to wipe out the whole family because you mad. Because somebody didn't want you. So it's like, what in the world is going on? So see, my thing is this. This is my thing. That's one of our topics, Aisha. That's going to be later this month. We're going to be talking about that. This is something that is so important and so disturbing. I know I always talk about adults, but we got to look at what's going on with these young girls. How is almost 50,000 kids going to be missing, female children missing in the state of California alone in one fucking year? How does that even, who does that? How does that even happen? And then, like I said, I was sitting there, I was like stunned out of my mind. I couldn't believe what I was reading. It's just like, there's not that many Amber Alerts in the world. So where are these kids? Who's reporting them missing? Where are they? Are these like runaways? Are foster kids? I mean, illegals? I mean, what is the makeup of these children? But this is something I think, we need. I wanted to make you guys aware of it because unlike, just like me, I mean, this is my field of study, and I had no idea that it was this horrific, that the numbers were this high. You told your guys not to ever touch a lady. Good. I think a lot of them, they don't even get that message. They never hear that. They never hear no, and they never hear don't do that and stop. And so they just go through life feeling like everybody's going to be their mommy and give them what they want. I don't know. I have to do more research, Money Girl. I just read that on it was like a state, like a criminal database type of thing. They just report numbers. They don't tell you what, I mean, they just give you it's like miles of statistics on everything that you would ever want to know. And I look at the numbers every so often on different subjects that I'm working on. And so it's just page after page after page. They don't give you any resolution, solutions, suggestion, nothing, just numbers. It's just a data site. Now this teenage girl in Detroit, she attempted suicide to escape her stalker ex-boyfriend. Um, And one day he was following around school and call her names and everything. And one day he wrote the word whore in dog feces on her family's garage door and egged and toilet papered her house. She tried to take her life days later, swallowing a bottle of Adderall pills. Why won't he leave me alone? She cried in hospital, where she hallucinated for days after a suicide attempt. I can't take it anymore. Everyone hates me. I'm a whore. They need to know my 13 reasons why. And this is a federal lawsuit that's filed. She's 17. She was stalked, bullied, and sexually harassed for 16 months by an ex-boyfriend during her freshman and sophomore years. She was an A and B student and award-winning member of, and they say it's not an isolated incident, What can we do as parents in situations like this? I think, I have family all over the country. My daughter, I would have to beg. I say, I'll send you money, please, thank you. I would be like, please take my daughter and let her go to school there. We can even change her name. So these people can't find her. Please keep her away from any teenage boys, and just to give her a chance. You know what I mean? Because this girl, she felt so desperate and so terrified and so like without hope that a 17-year-old girl wanted to kill herself because she's been bullied and stalked by some little nignog. See, that's when you want to just go and, secretly get the fruit of Islam to take his ass somewhere and make him disappear. And that would solve all her problems if he was just MIA. You know, it's just unbelievable. This little girl here, see, little Latina girl, alleged her boyfriend, a nignog, she allegedly, at 17, fell into a knife while they were struggling. Okay, why were you struggling? Why were you even around your ex-girlfriend with a knife at all? What was that all about? Here's his picture. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so she's dead. In another case, this little girl, she's black. Her boyfriend's black. Um, her parents and everybody at her school said she was like an angel. She's trying to save the world. She wanted to become a nurse so she could take care of people and help heal people. Um, she was stabbed 8 times by her ex-boyfriend because she wanted to break up with him, and he didn't want to break up with her, and so he killed her by stabbing her 8 times. She was, this one lady said she thought he was a respectful kid, and then he bought her a promise ring, and he went off in the car and hit my seat while I was driving. I told him he could get out of my car in the middle of the street. And they said the outbursts became more frequent. His behavior became erratic. In one minute he was on a rage, and the next he wants to apologize and say he's sorry. So see, he's got some bipolar, schizophrenic something going on with his crazy ass. But my series where I talked about the undiagnosed mental illness in black men, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So he doesn't have any kind of diagnosis, but his behavior is that of a fucking nutcase. All right, this young girl, she's white. She was dating this black dude. He was 20. She's 21. No, 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 wait. He was 21. She was a college student. Previously dated a 21 years old. Okay, no. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. She's 21. He was 37. This was a brother named Melvin Rowland, and she died. Was University of Utah college student. Cute little girl. But he killed her too because why? She didn't want to be with him anymore. They just can't stand it. So I'm like wondering if there's some way as parents, do you have to let your daughters date at 14, 15, 16 years old? Can't they wait till they go to college? I mean, that's what my parents made me do. My first date was when I went to the prom. I always had would hang out in groups and stuff. Plus, I had my brothers. I mean, really, seriously, when you have brothers and a lot of male cousins and stuff, you are so full up to here with male energy. You ain't trying to have a boyfriend because it's just gonna be more. It's just more. I mean, it's like my brothers. I mean, when I have a girlfriend, friend girl over to the house and we could like sew and cook and bake cookies and stuff like this, I was always so happy. But because I was always surrounded by so much testosterone between my daddy and my three brothers, with just me and my mom at the house. And she was an adult, so it was just basically just me. And I don't know, I just never felt pressed to want to have a boyfriend. So I think like it's something that we have to think about as we start, we start raising our daughters, like, what is it that they're looking for, why they feel like they have to have a boyfriend? What is it they hope to get? I mean, you got to get in your girls' heads to figure out what it is that they feel like they're going to get that they don't already have. And then maybe as parents, we need to start fulfilling that so that they will not get involved in situations like this so young. They can't handle it. And these dudes, it's something about it. I think when they be the first one up in somebody, they feel they want to stake a claim, and they feel this immense sense of ownership of your daughter's body. And if she wants to move on to another man, they just fucking they lose it. They just go crazy. I'm thinking it has something to do with that. Well, even, sometimes they do it even when the woman has a father and the father's right there in the house. They don't care about that. It's something with the boys might need a father figure more than the girls do, but these boys don't care that the dad is there. They go in the house and kill him too. They're crazy. Something's wrong with these little knuckleheads. Now, BuzzFeed, as I was nearing the end of my research, I found this article on BuzzFeed. I'm going to show it to you so you can get the title and all of that. These 10 young women were all allegedly killed by four boyfriends or exes this year. So you can pull that up and read it yourself. And this is 10 stories of young girls, under the age of 18 that were wiped out because of their exes that didn't want them to leave them. I didn't want to. So I'm not going to, I was going to relay some of these stories, but I think we've done enough with that. So let's move on, because I know everybody want to get to the Super Bowl. So let's go over some of the statistics, okay? Because I want you to hear some of this stuff. Let's talk about some facts about teen dating violence that you may not know, because I sure didn't know them. All right. It says roughly 1.5 million high school boys and girls in the United States admit to being intentionally hit or physically harmed in the last year by someone that they were romantically involved with. 1.5 million. And these are the ones that admitted it. Most kids don't say anything. They hide it because they don't want to get their beloved in trouble, or they're scared that they're going to, that they've been threatened, and they're scared that they'll carry through. So they're not, I would figure if this is 1.5 million who they know about, the number's probably 4 times that high at least. Number 2, teens who suffer dating abuse are subject to long-term consequences like alcoholism, eating disorders, promiscuity, thoughts of suicide, and violent behavior. Number 3, 1 in 3 young people will be in an abusive or unhealthy relationship. The tricky question, what does an unhealthy relationship even look like? And so, but I'm going to go over some healthy ones versus unhealthy ones. I think we all pretty much get an idea of what that is. It says 1/3, 33% of adolescents in America are victim to sexual, physical, verbal, or emotional dating abuse. 25% of high school girls have been abused physically or sexually. Teen girls who are abused in this way are 6 times more likely to become pregnant or to contract an STD. Females between the ages of 16 and 24 are 3 times more likely than the rest of the population of this country to be abused by an intimate partner. Oh. And this old hokey shit. 8 states in the United States do not consider a violent dating relationship to be domestic abuse. Therefore, adolescents, teens, and 20-somethings are unable to apply for a restraining order from protection from the abuser. That means in those 8 states, women better strap up. I wish I had noticed this, because I could have looked up and seen what the 8 states were. But unfortunately, I'm just now reading this, and so I don't have the information for you. And then it says violent behavior begins in the 6th grade. That's 12 years old. They're between the 6th and the 12th grade. 72% of 13 and 14-year-olds are, quote, dating. 72%? That's too young. Why do people need to date that young? Whew. 50% of young people who experience rape or abuse will attempt to commit suicide. Only 1/3 of the teens who are involved in an abusive relationship confided in someone about the violence. Teens who have been abused hesitate to seek help because they do not want to expose themselves or are unaware of the laws surrounding domestic violence. Okay, this is when good parenting needs to happen, people. You have to talk to your kids about what is going on with, in their relationship. You have to talk to them. You're going to have to ask them. If you notice weird bruises, your daughter starts wearing long sleeves in this summertime, she's wearing turtlenecks all the time, and it's hot outside, she's putting on a lot of extra makeup that could be to cover the bruises from her getting punched or hit, or wearing long sleeves to cover it up where he, grabbed her arm and twisted her flesh or something like this. You got to check your kids. You got to check them. And I don't care how old they are. You need to know what's going on with your daughter. This is just appalling to me that, and like I said, that this is only the tip of the iceberg. The real bulk of the shit is under the water. This is what we see. This is what's known. This is what's reported to like school officials or parents. Noticed it, or the kids told their parents. All the rest of them are quiet and terrified and living, in fear by them little selves. Oh my God, this is just awful. All right. What did I do with my paper? I wanted to, what's the point, Deborah, of creating an outline if you lose it? Oh, my goodness. I swear there's something wrong with me. I need to talk about my damn self. Anyway, I don't know where I put it. I had it and now I don't. But anyway, I do remember that I wanted to talk about what kinds of things make a healthy relationship, because I think a lot of teenage girls don't know. If they got friends that are having the same kind of drama and silliness going on in their relationship, they think that's normal, right? I mean, it's normalized behavior amongst their peers and in their neighborhood. I mean, they might even see their mama getting jacked around and slapped around, or choked up and all this kind of stuff. So there's, to them, this is normal behavior. It's not that unusual. It's not something that wrong, you know. So let's talk about that. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, you feel you don't feel very good about it. Yes, it is Debruary, isn't it? We're only on day three. It's like, oh my goodness, only on day three. Um, Not all unhealthy relationships are abusive, but sometimes they can include verbal, physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. You can also include them being violent towards each other. I mean, it's not always like the dude does something and then the girl just is the victim. Sometimes she rears up and she fights and kicks his ass back. So the two of them are going back and forth, but that's still an abusive relationship because, he started it and she finishes it or doesn't let him get too far down the road. But it's like, why do we even have to start this in the first place? Why don't you just shut up and act like you have some sense and treat the girl with respect and dignity so she doesn't have to try to fight you back? There's to be no fighting going on between the two of you that involve fists. All right, so let's talk about what a healthy relationship looks like, which I'm looking for my notes because I went and I typed it all up. And now I can't find it. Oh, what is wrong with me today? I think this threw me off, to tell y'all the truth. That's what I think happened because I was looking at this stuff and it just got me just all kinds of messed up. Um, I got upset for the little girls. Oh, that's right. Here's another one I wanted to go over for the parents, recognizing some other things, the things that I told you, but there's more to it. Um, If you notice that your daughter's grades are slipping in school, one day she got this new boyfriend, right? And suddenly her grades, she was a straight A student. She was always bubbly, happy. She wanted to look forward to going to school. She had all her friends and stuff. Now her friends are dropping off. The only person she's really around so much is this dude, and she doesn't look as bubbly and happy as she used to. Her grooming may be falling off. She looks a lot duller. She's not curling her hair and, doing her little her raps and all this kind of stuff. She's just looking plain. That could be a sign. Oh, I do? I have a super chat? Oh, well, thank you. Who did that? I can't tell. Woo! Thank you. Thanks for letting me know because I'm just talking and getting flustered because I can't find my outline that I made. I don't know where I put it. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yes, today's teen. We're talking teen dating violence and stuff. Okay, so that's one thing. You notice there's a fall off in your daughter. The second one is before she started dating this dude. Thank you, I will. Everybody giving me wine today. I guess they could tell I'm upset. This is just heartbreaking to me. Um, you know, she frequently cries, right, or is sad. You know, that was always bubbly and like a joy to be around. Now all of a sudden she all in her room, all morose and looking sad, depressed and stuff, and has no interest in anything. And you see her crying, sniffling. You're sniffling in her room. Okay, that's a sign. People, do not ignore that something's going on with your baby. You need to figure out what the hell is happening with her. If he texts her, she has to call him back immediately. You know, she'll jump up from the table and she'll stop, interacting with you. Stop to, oh, so and so, JoJo texted me, I have to text him back, kind of thing. And she just freaks out when he does something. That's also a sign. He told her that he loved her, like, the first couple of days or weeks in the relationship. Okay, for a young girl who's been raised up on fairy stories, this might be her first boyfriend, right? She's been waiting 16, 15 years to hear somebody say that to her. So it's like her fantasy has come to true. So she's got a lot of fantasy and make believe associated with this first relationship. And it doesn't necessarily mean because he says he loves her that he really does. A lot of these little dudes have, they were trained to have game by older guys. And they are down to use these girls. Not one did. Well, that's why I think, it becomes important. Oh, you looked it up for me, Van. Thank you. Everybody noticed it. The 8 states that we were talking about, the 8 states that don't have any protection for minor children, teenage children, they don't consider it to be domestic violence. Van, one of the moderators, just listed the 8 states. Thanks so much. See, my girls be on it. I mean, this is seriously, within 5 minutes, she had it up on the screen. Go ahead, girl. Making that shit happen. Um, Yeah, but she points that her boyfriend reports being extremely jealous, right? He's jealous. If she looks at or even speaks to another dude, I mentioned that earlier, he accuses her behavior that she doesn't actually engage in. Like, just, you calling all them dudes, you talking to all them dudes. You just rip and run the streets all the time. I can't never find you. You always shaking your asses. I mean, he's accusing her of doing things that she's not doing. So then she's like trying to explain and justify her behavior and going through all these changes. Yeah, they did. Well, it said those are 8 states. Yes, that's what the stats said. There are 8 states that don't have those laws. He's aggressive in other parts of his life, right? You notice he's aggressive in the way he talks to people. He's always putting his fist through a wall or busting something or throwing something, breaking something. He has to make a point and there's always some kind of violent act associated with it. He roughhouses or he wants to play fight with her. Okay, that is a no-no. No male should ever do that. He like a lot of dudes, they want to grab you, right? And they want to like rustle you around and stuff. It's like a domination thing. Like monkeys do that. But it's part of their pack thing where the males are trying to establish who's going to be the dominant male of the pack. But okay, we ain't monkeys, and you're male, and you already have more upper body strength than me. You don't need to put your hands on nobody and toss nobody nowhere. There's one time I had a dude do that shit to me, and that's when I was working out, and I had like my shoulders was buff, and he did something. He tried to call himself gonna hit me. I haul off now. I punched the fuck out of his arm as hard as I could, and he was like, "Oh, you fucked my arm up." I'm like, "Yeah. Next time it's gonna be your fucking face. You better keep your hands to yourself. Don't you ever touch me like that again." And he didn't either. I think he was scared because he could saw I just went like berserker on his ass. I tried to put my fist through the other side of his fucking arm. It's like, I don't know who you've been doing that shit with, but you ain't gonna do that to me. You must have forgot I was working. That's what I was working as a trainer. I was ripped. I have some pictures of me. I could show you guys all the muscles I had. I was not playing with his ass. I was gonna brain him if I could. Yeah, don't play fights. No, we don't do that. I didn't do it with my brothers. My father told my brothers, I will kill you if you try to do that with your sister. You gonna fight me then. And of course my brothers like, oh. And so we never, that plus past when we was like 5 or, little kids wrestling and stuff like that. There was none of that. By the time I got about 7, that shit was over. Um, He drinks or uses drugs. He has a sad home life. He claims he was abused, or, he didn't have nowhere to live, and one of his parents were a drug addict or alcoholic or something. But anyway, this means the boy is all fucked up in the head. That's what that means. And without short of him getting some therapy for that, he's going to continue to be fucked up. And he's going to bring that fucked upness into your life, into your daughter's life, and into your family if he should be allowed to. He starts being secretive. She gets like too attached to him, but he's like hiding stuff from her. So she's like always flipped out and going crazy, trying to wonder where he is and what he's doing. She has to always offer up excuses and apologize and explain herself to to his satisfaction, his royal satisfaction. And then, as I said at the top, this list says, and she has bruises that cannot be explained. But see, most of the time they're not going to explain them. They're going to try to hide them from you, and that's when it becomes your job as a parent to, look at your daughter and see what's going on with her. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I did with that. Sigh. And this study here says two-thirds of California teens experience dating violence. I thought this was ridiculous. This is a new study um, conducted by Chapman University, nonprofit organizations. Laura's House found that two-thirds of teenagers in Orange County, that's in Southern California. Orange County is where Disneyland is. Okay, that's Orange County. That they experience some kind of dating abuse, which is nearly twice the national average. So here was California with 45,000 teenage girls missing, and domestic and violence against teen girls at twice the rate of the rest of the country. What kind of violence? Psychological abuse 72%, cyber abuse 45%, stalking 44%, physical violence 35%, and sexual violence 34%. That's what our girls are up to. And like I keep wanting you guys, you got to remember, these are only the numbers that were reported. Okay, the rest of them aren't telling. They're not saying it, or they're missing and can't say it, or they're dead and can't say it. Okay, so you gotta, these numbers, I would imagine, are at least twice as high as what is here on this on this paper. So let's talk about what kinds of things constitute a healthy relationship. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head because I made notes, but I can't find them now. If you're a teenage girl and you have a boyfriend, like say there's something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish, some goal that you want to do, you want to get, I don't know, a better score on a test or something. Your boyfriend in a healthy relationship, if he's good at that thing, he's going to come over to your house, he's going to meet you at the library, and he's going to help you study for that, and he's going to, make sure that when you go to take that test, you are your best because he wants you to be your best. Okay, if there's something that's going on at your house that you need some help, you got to move. Your parents are packing up to move. You're gonna swap rooms with your brother who's going off to college. You're gonna get the big room now, or you want to paint your room or something. He's gonna be right there helping you do it. You have a boyfriend, you have a healthy relationship. He doesn't blow up your phone calling you 70 times a day to find out where you are. He might call, a couple of times and say, "Hi, how are you? I was thinking about you, this and that." And then before you go to bed, or, "I was thinking about stopping to pick up an ice cream after school. Do you want to go with me?" Something little lightweight, fun stuff like that. He's going to take your feelings into consideration, the things that you like, the things that you don't. Those things are important to him, and he's going to remember what you say because you're important to him. He's going to be respectful of you, your time, your friendships with other people, and especially your parents. If your parents say, "I want you to have her home by midnight," at 11:59, his ass is going to be pulling up to that door. Okay, you made it, because he respects your people, and he wants them to know that he respects them. He's not going to be saying, "Oh, your parents ain't shit. Your parents be trying to tell you what to do. Shoot, you grown, this and that, blah, blah." That's someone who doesn't respect you. Your boyfriend, if you are in a healthy relationship and he sees you upset, He's going to ask you what's the matter. And if you're too upset to tell him, he's not going to pester you and say, well, fuck it then, and all that kind of stuff to try to guilt trip you into it. He's going to just wrap his arms around you and pat you up until you feel better because he cares about you. He holds your hand. He wraps his arms around you. And it's not in any way to try to show ownership. It's because he likes being close to you, and touching you makes him feel happy. And you like it too. It makes you both happy. If there's anything you guys want to do sexually and you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it today, right now, that way, whatever, he's going to be like, that's fine. You know, I want you to enjoy this too. I want you to be a willing participant in whatever we do together. You know, just what do you want to do then? That's how you have a boyfriend who is, because he would never hurt you. He's not going to lie to you. He's not going to cheat on you. He's not going to break your heart. He's not going to be leaving you doubtful and concerned. He's not going to be scaring you with wild words or threats or hits near your head or throwing shit at you, calling you vile names, calling you whores and sluts and things like that. None of that's going to happen if you have a boyfriend who cares about you and you are in a healthy relationship with a healthy young man. That's not going to happen. Now, if you have all that other shit talking about that we were talking about earlier, then you have a relationship that you should probably get out of. And I think more young girls, you guys need to, I don't know how to tell you this, you need to get a better relationship with your parents so that you report to them the kind of things that are going on in your life. I mean, I know it's hard. I know you don't want to have your parents all in your business like you're still a little baby. But this is something that could affect your well-being and your life. Your parents are still responsible for you, especially if it's something that could, concern legal issues or medical issues, because you might show up with bruises and broken bones and shit, that your parents are there to protect you. But if they don't know that there's a threat, they don't know that there's something they need to protect you from, you have to let them know, and then they will do everything that they in their power to protect you. Always. That's what parents do. And if they have to get together money, do a GoFundMe to send your ass to East 10 Buck 3 to get away from a motherfucker, that's what they will do. Okay? Because you want their baby to be safe. But you guys have to stop thinking that you're going to cause a problem, or you don't want to worry your parents. And they find out you had something like this going on with you and you didn't tell them, and now they can't find you. How worried do you think they're going to be then? Okay? Let's be realistic about this. Put this into perspective. The chunks of dust squad. Oh, not just dusty chunks of dust. Oh my God, you are too funny, money girl. Yeah, see. This is all stuff that, unfortunately, the stuff continues on into, older years too. But I think that it's important to stress to young girls the difference between an unhealthy situation and a healthy one. Even if your friends all have unhealthy relationships, I want you to know that that's what's going on. So you don't get involved with dusties. Leave dusties alone. And you don't have to have a boyfriend in high school. That's your time to be getting yourself set up so that you can get the fuck up out of there, go to college, and get the fuck up out of there and go and make the world your own. That's what you got to do. You got to have a plan. And your plan should not include being derailed with dust mites. Because that's all they're going to do. They're going to get you pregnant. They're going to attack your self-esteem. They're going to derail your dreams. That's all they're good for. That's like, it's like very rare that you meet a young girl who had a boyfriend who helped her get to the next level. I'm still waiting to meet that motherfucker because they never do that. If anything, I mean, they might marry her later, but except they still got her pregnant, so she still had to drop out. Or go to some kind of adult school or something. There's always an issue when you get a dust mite involved in your daughter's life. There's always something that they do to fuck her over. And I don't understand why so many young girls are just, that's all they can think about. Oh, I want to have a boyfriend. I want to have a boyfriend. And so that's what I say, as parents, you need to talk to your daughter and say, okay, you say this is what you want. Why? What is it that you think is going to change in your life? It's going to be better, more wonderful. Why do you want this thing? And generally, what they usually say is that, well, I want it because everybody else has one. I don't want to be the only one that with no boyfriend. I've heard that hundreds of times. And I'm like, okay, so everybody else is jumping off a bridge and you're going to jump too because everybody else is? Well, no, having a boyfriend is fun. I said, okay, what part is fun? How many of your friends you see crying all the time? Oh, all of them. Okay, so where's the fun part at? Don't you have more fun with your female friends? Just, you guys hanging out and chilling and shit? You know what I mean? So talk to them like that because some they're young and silly, and you gotta walk them through things. But a lot of things they don't understand. Okay, your friend is crying, your friend is depressed, your friend's upset, your friend's cutting school, your friend's not turning in her homework, your friend's grades fail, your friend looked like shit. She stopped combing her hair and grooming and wearing her cute clothes because her boyfriend said she was trying to get cute for other dudes. Your daughter needs you to explain those things to her because she's 14 and 15 years old. She don't get it. So that's when you need to do it. You know. Yeah, it's romanticized on TV and books. She takes them to her dick appointments. Oh yes, please send me a letter about that. That would be good to put into the column. At the top of the page up there on the top of the channel, click that get advice button and fill in the deets. So I know what's going on, and we can talk about that on Tuesday. Yeah, we gotta do better with our girls. A lot of people, it used to amaze me how many girls used to write my column and not have any information even about their body, like how to care for their, genitalia, their lady parts. And the mothers was falling down on that too. It's like, come on now, ladies, you got to do better with your daughters. Teach them something, so that they know how to move and go into the world with some kind of finesse and skill. Your daughter should not ever be in a situation where she doesn't know how to clean down there appropriately, and then she's in a situation she's trying to go to the doctor or something like that, and then she gets embarrassed because stuff's not not the way it's supposed to be, and it's not because she's not a clean person. She just doesn't know the proper techniques. Not everybody has a bathtub. Some people have, stall showers, but you got to teach your daughter how to make sure everything is crispy clean, even if she's just taking a shower. Yeah, that is what WTF. Yeah, I wasn't really interested. I'm telling you, I was just drowning in maleness. All the male friends I had and my brothers and stuff, I was just done. I just didn't want to be bothered. The fact that these girls was racing around talking what they wanted a boyfriend, I was like, ew, why? That was my experience. I just had no interest in adding another male to my world at all. At all. Even when I got to college, it was like, well, I guess it's time. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, it wasn't, definitely wasn't gay, but it was just like, I just was not pressed. I just did not feel pressed to be tripping about no dude. I've never been like that, I guess. I just, like, whatever. I just have so much other stuff on my mind. I just was not really that interested. And I think it served me well because so many of my friends ended up pregnant. Friends was pregnant in junior high school by boys in high school. They couldn't even graduate from junior high school. I think they call it middle school now. Junior high school, ninth grade, eighth grade, because, they was already pregnant, having babies and shit. 14. Oh, like 14. I was still in the Girl Scouts. I wasn't thinking about no bullshit like a boy and some dick. Oh my God. No. And you had too much female energy, girl, we could have been good friends, and I would have traded some of mine for some of yours, and we would have both been happy. 'Cause I'm just telling you, I was just like drowning. It was unbelievable. She's gonna be started in the Air Force. Ooh, she tough. Your grandmother never taught you. I mean, a lot of women don't. I think a lot of it, they're embarrassed or something. I'm like, I don't really understand. Um, I don't understand what they be doing. I mean, if anything, I think my daughter would be running away from me because she thought I was giving her too much information. She was just like, Mom, that's enough. And she'd go in her room and close the door. But it's like, I would rather have too much information than not enough. That's how, when I went to school, like, little girls, they'd be talking about, oh, they didn't know where babies would come from and all this kind of stuff. And the little boys telling them bullshit. Like the older boys, not the, ones in our age group. And I would be like, no, no, my mother told me that the sperm and the egg, the ovum, meet, and then the sperm impregnates you, and then it goes attached. So I knew the whole thing. My mom was a nurse. So, I knew the whole thing, like, scientifically. I mean, I didn't have, like, the screwing part down, but I knew biologically how the baby was made, and it was not found in no fucking Cabbage Patch, and no stork brought it either. And you don't find a baby. And these are all the stories that they were being told. But any, like, I was just like, no, and one of the teachers heard me talking like that, and she called them. They had the school call my mother. It's like, your daughter's over here talking about, a boy hit her in her womb. And then they was like, what is she talking? And so my mother just laughed, but they made, she had to come to the school and explain that those were the words that I had been taught. I had been taught proper biological scientific names for my body parts. And I use more slang for that stuff now as an adult than I ever did as a child. I was like, oh, the vulva and the, vagina. And I knew all the technical terms, and I was like 5. And they were like, well, this little girl is too much. And, but that was me. Yeah, Lady Boss, I'm telling you, selling Girl Scout cookies, going on camping trips at 16 and backpacking trips and stuff like that, fishing and hiking, all that kind of stuff. I was not trying to be dealing with no stupid boys. No stupid boys. No, I'm not watching the Super Bowl because I hate both of the teams, and I hope that Green Bay dies. I hope they get beat. I hope they get smacked down into the ocean. So no, I'm not going to watch because I would be too pissed. But any of you have any ideas, any thoughts about this, be sure to put your thoughts down below the video. I'm going to list some, well, let me just say there's a National Domestic Violence Hotline that also handles things for teens, so don't be afraid. You call 1-800-799-SAFE. So that's 1-800-799-7233. If you ever feel that you're in danger, you don't know what to do to get out of a situation, because they can ping your cell phone and send the 911 to you. So everybody should put that in your daughter's phone so that she just, that could be like her *1 or whatever they call, it's like a 1-button thing that she can call that or 911 and get some help. But these abusive relationships, if she can't talk to you, she needs to be able to talk to somebody to figure out what's going on and what she should do about it. So that is a great resource. I have referred many, many, many people here, and let's hope that your daughter doesn't need it. Let's put it that way. Let's hope she doesn't need it, but it is a good resource for her to have just in case. Yeah, they should be having fun. The dating stuff is like, they can wait on that. There's just something that they're thinking that they can, that they're going to get from it. And that's why I said you need to talk to your daughter and figure out what it is that she's going to be, that she's looking for, that she thinks she's going to get from this relationship that she doesn't already have. And, you might be an eye opener for you. And then as a parent, you need to start making sure that you fulfill that void in her life as best you can. Yes, that's it. 1-800-799-SAFE. Oh, is somebody clowning? Well, you feel free if they acting stupid. That's that's your domain. So that's, pretty much what I have to say on this. What do we have coming up tomorrow? Where's my calendar? I wish I could find things. It would be so nice if I was so better organized. We wouldn't be having any of these problems, and life would be good, and I would know where my stuff was, and I don't know. I don't remember what's on deck for tomorrow, but it's on the calendar wall. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. Yeah! This is my calendar for the month, all the programming for the month of Debruary. So today was the 3rd, February. It's Teen Dating Violence Awareness. Tomorrow, as I'm going to record the show tonight, is Why Men Blame Feminism for Their Weaknesses and Failures. Then on Tuesday, we have What the Fuck Tuesday. On Wednesday, Why Men Can't Pick Up on Signals of Disinterest. I mean, it's like, duh, it's right in your face. Nobody want to talk to your retired monkey ass. And here you are trying to force yourself on somebody. So we're going to talk about the signals that women get out so that men can be, like, if you really are seriously clueless and not just being obtuse intentionally, maybe you can get a clue. And then on Thursday, we'll have another live stream and how men attempt to invalidate women's reality. On Friday, we'll talk about the cycle of abuse. Maybe. That's what I tabbed down here with a question mark, but I might come up with something more interesting by then. And then on Saturday and Sunday next weekend, we have two, again, back to back live streams. So, this is just, and I'm telling you, don't look for me in March. Don't even think, don't even imagine that you're going to see me here the first week of March. I mean, I'm going to do What the Fuck Tuesday. Then after that, I'm going into a hole and you will not see me for the rest of the week. You laughing at these topics? Oh, honey, that's just the beginning. That's only the first week and a half, and then we got all kind of other stuff coming up. Oof, lots of good stuff for you guys. Lots of good stuff. One of the things I'm going to do is how to maintain an air of mystery, because y'all just talk too fucking much. You tell me and everything. You just like remove all sign of making curious about yourself. You talk too much. You do too much. And so I'm going to teach you how to leave a man wanting more of you instead of running away from you like most of them do, because y'all be talking too much. Oh my God. You guys. See, that's why I'm going to be an alcoholic before this month is over. Y'all gonna make me drink myself to death. But I want to say, thank you for coming. I hope that you go, and those of you who want to check out the Super Bowl, now you have time. I heard Gladys Knight saying the what you call it, the whatever that song was. She's saying that, but I didn't see it. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this and that there's valuable information for you and any teen girls that you know and any parents of teens that you may be aware of. Please send them this link. And I will talk to you guys real soon, like tomorrow. Bye-bye.